Today on the CTV News at 5.
Oh, we just absolutely hate the idea of them closing that hospital.
Carmangay residents rally to fight the closure of a continuing care facility. Plus, just how far the impact of a fire at a downtown Calgary office building is being felt. And the squeeze is on at the Kimberley International Old Time Accordion Championships.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Alberta Health Services has stirred up a hornet's nest in the village of Carmangay. Residents are angry over government plans to close a facility for Alzheimer's and dementia patients. The Little Bow Continuing Care Centre has 18 residents and employs nearly 40 people. Village residents say closure would impact families, the patients, and the entire community. Terry Vogt reports.
This is one local issue that Kim Nichols knows about firsthand. Nichols is not only the mayor of Carmangay, she's also a nursing assistant and cook at the Little Bow Continuing Care Centre, a facility that Alberta Health Services recently revealed is slated for closure.
We're hoping to bring awareness. I think Alberta Health Services has tried to hide this, push this through quietly, and we want to bring awareness to the community, to the province, that, you know, this is happening.
It's asinine that they're even thinking of doing this. I mean, these people are going to die getting moved.
Little Bow MLA Ian Donovan is clear about what he thinks of this decision. Donovan points out half a dozen of the patients are over the age of 95. He says closing the care centre would put patients at risk and be devastating to their families.
The kicker to it is they say in one report that it's the building code itself, it doesn't meet requirements, but yet on March 15th it met 100% of the building code requirements. So which is it? What are they actually doing here?
And while Donovan's a member of the opposition Wild Rose Party, even longtime Tories say they can't understand this decision. Former Little Bow MLA Barry McFarland served 6 terms before retiring prior to the last election. He says this was never discussed while he was part of the government.
And where are the long-term care beds? I'd like to know where the long-term care facility is for patients that have been here most all of their unwell life. Where are they going to go and get the same kind of care? It isn't going to be an assisted living.
Oh, we just absolutely hate the idea of them closing that hospital because well, it's a big employee for the town, and a lot of these people that are working here maybe will have to move away.
Staff have been told that Alberta Health Services will finalize details of the closure over the next 2 or 3 months. So far, the government has no plans for the building. They say they'll make a decision on what to do with the facility after it's vacant. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Carmangay.
Now, we haven't been able to contact Alberta Health Services about the closure, apparently because of problems with their telephone and email systems. Alberta Health Services told staff it was planning to hold a community information meeting later this summer, but local residents aren't waiting. The village is organizing its own community forum, and it's scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight at the Carmangay Community School. Wildrose leader Danielle Smith is planning to attend. Meanwhile, a group of Lethbridge High School students say they have a great idea about how to cure type 1 diabetes. These students hope to engineer a bacteria that will secrete insulin in response to a person's glucose levels and then house it in the NASA biocapsule, where it will safely dispense insulin and could reduce the need for continuous monitoring. That's a large task for any scientist, but these students say it's a project that means a lot to them.
We think it is a major problem in our society, and we all have friends who are diabetic, so we know what kind of impact it has on people's lives. And we thought it would eventually make a huge difference.
Now, the group recently returned from Indiana, where they presented their take to other groups of iGEM students, and so far, NASA has not granted them permission to use their biocapsule system. I think we've got a little glitch here, and we're going to come back.
I can hear you now, Jackie.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Dory.
Yep. I can hear you now. Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming you wanted to talk about the thunderstorms that are rolling across Western Canada and the risk therein. We've got watches and warnings all the way from the foothills in Alberta all the way to northern Ontario, would you believe? So we'll talk more about that when we get into the body of the weather. But yeah, there's some active weather out there.
Thanks, Dory. 24 hours after a fire at a Shaw building in downtown Calgary, crews are still scrambling to deal with the aftermath. Telephone and internet customers across the province are still dealing with outages.
Data is safe.
You know, the same information that is provided through electronic...
This is our private health data is safe and recoverable. The bad news, that recovery process is taking some time. In fact, this is the longest outage AHS has had since it went to electronic records.
We do have backup systems, and we do have disaster recovery capability, and that capability is equal to or better than really the national capability in healthcare. So it's really a question of how much backup and recovery can you put in place.
Alberta Health Services is having to reschedule some elective surgery scheduled for Friday because of the fire outage at the telecommunications giant. However, Chinook Regional Hospital staff tell us at this point, Lethbridge hasn't been affected. Their email system is down, though. No surgeries being rescheduled. Patient information is stored on another server, so they don't believe that care is being affected locally. Now, if you're planning to get a vehicle registered or renew your driver's license, you may have to wait until the weekend. The fire that has impacted Alberta Health is also affecting Alberta Registries, which handles land titles and motor vehicle services. Local licensing and registry offices aren't able to do registrations, issue driver's licenses, or collect fine payments. Most other services are also unavailable. A spokesman says customers should be aware that the power may not be restored before the weekend. The courthouse system is also being affected, so if you have a fine or ticket to pay at the courthouse, you'll have to be bringing in the paper ticket. Staff are unable to conduct online searches. Well, local library services were also affected for several hours last night because of the same shutdown. Staff say people don't realize how integral technology is to library systems. The outage affected the library website, email, and databases that have twice the amount of books online than in the library. Services are fully restored at all Lethbridge Library branches. Staff say many people were upset that they couldn't use the wireless internet.
It's quite a shock to people. We have a lot of people who come in with their laptops and work on their laptops to do all sorts of different types of work. And so, yeah, we just literally lost all of that access. We went back to the traditional 1950s library for a few hours.
Staff say that they don't use catalog cards anymore, but were able to find books by knowledge of the Dewey Decimal System and memory. The cause of the explosion and fire at the Shaw building in Calgary is still being investigated. Now, a Lethbridge man facing a number of theft charges will spend some time behind bars. In May, officers arrested a 25-year-old man inside a Southside apartment. Cody Martins was charged with a number of offenses, including 5 counts of shoplifting, a taxi fraud, and a break-and-enter. Today, Martins pleaded guilty to the crimes. He was sentenced to 6 months in jail. The case of a Florida man caught at the Coots border crossing with a huge cache of weapons was briefly before the courts today. In February, border guards found 75 firearms, including 48 handguns, a blowgun, a pistol, crossbow, and 23 high-capacity magazines in the man's pickup truck. It's the largest handgun seizure ever at Coots Crossing. 54-year-old George Foster is facing 15 charges. His case was set over until July the 25th. And the only person charged in connection to the disappearance of a missing Medicine Hat nursing student made a brief court appearance today. 23-year-old Amy Lewis was last seen on June the 11th. Days later, police charged 34-year-old Jerison Stepanski with murder after the fact in Lewis's disappearance, but there's still no sign of her. Search efforts were suspended nearly 2 weeks ago because police said they'd followed all viable leads. Investigators are waiting for some evidence to be processed and are following up on the relevance of some new tips. They say they still expect to lay more charges. Today, Stepanski was in court for a bail hearing that's been set over until July the 26th. Canada and the United Kingdom are working together to upgrade CFB Suffield. The two countries are investing a total of $17.3 million to build a fire hall building, range control facility, and various other improvements throughout the base. A new fire hall will replace the current 60-year-old facility. A new range control facility will also be constructed. The cost is over $17 million, with the British government paying $12.6 million. CFB Suffield is more than 2,690 square kilometers. It's one of the biggest live fire training areas in the Western world. Cirque du Soleil will be performing shows in Lethbridge for the first time ever, so you won't want to skip the opportunity. One of the performers from Quidam demonstrated a skipping solo in Lethbridge today. At the end of July, crews will use 15 trucks of equipment to transform the NMAC Center in just 12 hours. 52 costume artists will perform live music, theater, stunts, and acrobatics. Cirque du Soleil members say they're excited to bring the show to Lethbridge.
There is a really big arts interest, I think, in Lethbridge that was discovered with all of the other Broadway shows and other concert shows that have been here. We also have this beautiful venue that just got renovated that's now able to support a show as big and heavy as us.
I think the biggest difference is that the people, the audience, because they have the chance to have the show in their backyard, kind of, and they always really welcoming.
Quidam runs August the 1st through the 5th. There are only a few tickets left. And the Kimberley International One-Time Accordion Championships continue through Saturday in the Bavarian city. Kimberley's Platzel is home to free jam sessions every day during the week. The city's 6,000-person population almost doubles during the annual festival, which is now in its 39th year. Competitions in various categories are held every day at the Civic Center, and as the afternoon turns to evening, the jam sessions head back to the campgrounds where the musicians are staying, and some extremely impressive performances happen when amateurs get together with the professionals.
I started playing the accordion when I was 8 years old. And I played with Polish bands, Czech bands, Slovenian bands, German bands, you name it.
And we enjoy here. It's a beautiful city, it's nice people, and that's why we're all here.
The Kimberley International Old Time Accordion Championships feature live concerts every night at the Civic Center, and the festival wraps up on Saturday. In the markets today, another down day for West Texas. Here are the final numbers.